Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome everybody to the Retro Blood as we celebrate the 200th episode here on the Retro Blood. A huge milestone for us here on the Retro Blood. 200 episodes.
Can you believe that?
Can you believe it, man? It's crazy. we are going
that
down
day,
the 80s rabbit hole. All right.
We are. That day that you first came to me and said, "Hey, I've got an idea for a podcast," and then you sold it to me, and then I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." Never thought we'd be here 200 episodes later.
Yep.
And almost 4 years?
Yeah, almost 4 years now.
Wow.
Drops every Sunday. From beginning intros to long intros that we had before to shortened intros to finally getting on video. We have definitely grown here on the Retro Blood. From updating the video like I try to every so often to make it look better for everybody on here. This is going to be a big celebration for a lot of stuff. It's going to be a celebration for Retro Blood. We're celebrating this whole month. We're celebrating Fulci. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
We're right in the middle of Fulci month. All right. And of course, this episode, like I broke on Night of the Sharks, myself and Alison are going to talk about two legends of their respective industries, Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne on this episode. So it's going to be a jam-packed celebrating podcast on here on the Retro Blood.
200 episodes.
200 episodes. But like I do every episode, let me break it down of what we're going to be talking about with this movie. If y'all like fog machines with like that foggy camera that makes it look like you're in like some sort of fantasy land, if you all like He-Man looking Italian dudes, yeah, that's right, He-Man, we don't fucking need you. Get the fuck out of here. Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jack dude, we don't need you. All right, we got skinny Italian man over here, brother. Mace and
Mace.
Mace. All right? Not that Mace from WWE. That's a different one. This is the Mace from this movie. If you all like heroes who just cannot get good sleep, I mean, people were just trying to sleep in this fucking movie. And every time they tried to fucking sleep, something would happen. Just let them go to sleep.
The biggest battle in this movie was for sleep.
Exactly. That's all there was for sleep. If you all like naked girls with steel mask on there having sex with snakes, this is definitely the review, brother, because the
God
Retro
knows
Blood.
I do.
Okay, we don't know you don't. Because the Retro Blood is talking all about Fulci's Conquest.
This is amazing.
J.H. Alison, James Kline. This is gonna be a wild episode already. The 200th episode of Retro Blood. We're talking about Hulk Hogan. We're talking about Ozzy. We're talking about Conquest. I mean, 3 subjects probably never been talked about before in the history of podcasting. We're gonna talk about them all
on
the same show, ever at all.
Wow. I can't wait to talk about this movie. This movie was phenomenal. I loved it. I loved every minute of watching this movie.
I was not expecting what I was watching when I was watching. I didn't know really what I was gonna expect because, you know, you look at the previews or the covers or whatever. I knew it was going to be like a low-budget He-Man. You know what I mean? Like a low-budget, like the 80s superhero, fantasy, there's little elements of Star Wars in there. There's little elements of, Conan is in there, He-Man, stuff like that. I just, like, I think this movie worked because, like, it was so, like, low-budget, but it was also so trippy. All right.
Yes.
Like, what was going on with Okra? Is that her name? Okra?
Oh, it's
I kept saying
Okron.
Okra. Yeah, I kept saying okra, like fried okra.
Right. The thing about this movie that made it a challenge to watch and review is the shit quality of the version that we had. Like, I watched it on Tubi, and it literally looks like a VHS. Like, it's really hard to tell what the fuck's going on, but maybe it's filmed that way. But it's really hard to tell what the fuck's going on most of the time. I'm like, what am I looking at?
All I know is there were certain points in this film that I felt like I should have been on LSD.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like kind of like when we watched Communion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There were certain scenes where I was like, you know
vibe.
what? This would have been great if I was, high. This one has to be like up there for stoner movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get fucked up and you watch this shit. I could see that happening.
But I could just see like, I mean, man, if you were like tripping or something, you'd be in and you got to that scene where Okron's like having sex with the snake and Snake with the mask on, you'd freak the fuck out.
You freak out, bro. And we'll talk about it, but I am going to talk about why Zorro was my favorite character in this whole fucking film. This guy was fucking awesome, bro. And we'll get there. We'll get there, everybody. But like every Retro Blood, this one no different. But this one's actually very special Retro Blood.
It is.
Because we are going to be talking about our history segment. But our history segment is going to focus on two, prominent figures. If you look at 1980s, okay?
Yeah.
Is there two bigger figures in the 80s? Maybe besides Michael Jordan or something like that. Maybe some other ones. But who is bigger in the 80s of their respective industries than Hulk Hogan? Than Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, nobody was more influential in their industries than those two people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
We're just gonna break it down. Some of our thoughts about the two individuals. The first thing is, this movie was. We usually do on the Retro Blood, if we all have any new listeners on here, we usually do, we talk about the release date and we talk about what is happening in the world of pro wrestling and metal music. All right. So, if you all have been following us for the 200 episodes that we have played for your sweet ears, you have noticed that myself and Alison, we talk about Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne a lot because, like I said, they were two big figures in the worlds of their entertainment. Ozzy with the music and Hulk with the wrestling. We probably talk about Hulk Hogan maybe a little bit more because, Ozzy Osbourne, it's different. Like, music and, obviously wrestlers, they do a lot more traveling, basically. I would say around this time than Ozzy probably was doing like concerts and stuff. But I'm still going to say the release date of this film though was June 2nd, 1983 in Italy. All right. Mm-hmm. I believe it didn't come to the US until almost the next year. All right. But, we're going to skip the release date of, what was happening and we're going to talk about these two figures. Alison, I think we should start with Ozzy first because this Hogan stuff, Hogan was a lot more controversial figure, I believe, than Ozzy was. But Ozzy,
which is weird to say.
Which is very weird. Exactly. That's why I want to talk about it. We can literally do a whole show about both these guys because
for sure.
It's weird to say about the Ozzy. I'll start a little bit. I know you know a little bit more about his career than I do, but we talked about some of this before. Early Ozzy Osbourne, this guy was a wild man. This guy got kicked out of Black Sabbath for partying too much.
Exactly.
Think about that. Think about that. How wild. Bro, they didn't kick out people from Motley Crue. You know what I mean?
No.
They didn't kick out people from Dokken and shit like that. You know what I mean? You got kicked out of a huge band. Because, Black Sabbath was huge, in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they're
also huge partiers.
Partiers, too. And you got kicked out.
Partying. Yeah. If you're partying too much for Black Sabbath, you're just partying too much.
Exactly. So I was going to...
But,
I think...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Alison, could you just, maybe share some stuff about the background of Ozzy? And then we'll talk about some of our memories with him and stuff.
Yeah, basically, as you said, he was the lead singer of Black Sabbath. One of my favorite bands. I know one of your favorite bands of that era, too. And then, when he got kicked out of Black Sabbath, he, it was because of partying too much. His substance abuse was just out of control. He was just an out of control person.
Yeah.
He just seemed like someone who just did whatever he wanted to do at that very moment. And, didn't really think about the future 5 minutes from now, even not to mention years from now. But, and he, everybody kind of thought his career was over. He thought his career was over. He thought he would never, be anything ever again. And then he met Sharon. Well, Sharon Osbourne, before she was Sharon Osbourne, she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was the daughter of Black Sabbath's manager.
Okay.
at the time, and she left her father's company to manage Ozzy solo. So, and that's one of the reasons I feel like she was so ruthless. You know, everybody talks about how ruthless Sharon Osbourne is, and because she was just determined to make Ozzy a success.
Yeah.
And she did. I mean, they found, well, and it wasn't just her, but I mean, she got Ozzy, you know, corralled enough to be able to function as a human being and play shows and record albums. You know, but also them finding Randy Rhoads was also a big thing. Because I mean, Randy was, you know, he's like a what do they call it? A generational talent. Like, you know, there's not really anybody like him. I mean, he was just an amazing guitarist, and then putting those two guys together with Bob Daisley writing songs and playing bass. I mean, you made two great, fantastic albums. You did Blizzard of Oz, and the second album just left my mind. I can't think of what it's called right now, but Diary of a Madman.
Diary of a Madman,
Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. I mean, those are two of the best albums in the 80s, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think all of Ozzy's albums in the 80s are great, but then when Randy died, they got Jake E. Lee to play guitar, and then they did Bark at the Moon, and Ultimate Sin, and then eventually they find Zakk Wylde, and then, you know, he does No More Tears and No Prayer for the Wicked, and then after that, his career kind of goes downhill a little bit, but from 1980 to like 1992 or something, like Ozzy was like the man in metal. Yeah. You know, after he got sober again, like, you know, he was still really good, but he wasn't like the madman that we're used to. But, you know, he was the guy who, like, you know, he bit a head off a bat. You know, everybody hears that story. I mean, I mean, granted, he did think that it was a rubber bat. He didn't think it was a real bat at the time.
Was that the Alamo one?
No, so that's a different story. I think he was in Black Sabbath when that happened. Like when he got arrested for peeing on the Alamo.
Peeing on the Alamo, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's fucking fantastic. And then that story about him snorting the ants.
Yeah, snorting the ants. I heard about that one.
Yeah, like the
fire
ants, pool,
yeah.
The fire ants. Yeah, and he's like snorting the ants up into his nose, and it's like, oh, wow, what a fucking madman. And he was doing all this while making records and touring and playing shows. Like, it's insane. Like, that he could do what he did and not die. The fact that Ozzy lived as long as he did is an amazing thing. It is amazing,
yeah. Especially how wild he was, and like, you know, there's a couple of things about, you know, obviously, you know, his career he's like one of those guys in metal music where he is kind of like the grandfather of, like, your favorite band's favorite band, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? He gave metal like a rock star, like a popular icon rock star. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, when you think of, like, you know, metal bands and lead singers with a lot of personality and, you know, just larger than life when you see him on stage, you know, Ozzy really was one of the first guys to do that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Was to be like a larger than life figure within the band. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
And also in the 80s, like, even though he did do some of the kind of trendy, like with his hair and stuff like that, he kind of did the trendy hair look a little bit. He was one of the few 70s artists that were still successful and really successful in the 80s without changing his style too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't doing glam rock, and he wasn't doing like hair metal. He was still playing pretty heavy rock, you know, pretty heavy metal during that time, and was still successful. Yeah, I mean, Ozzy's fantastic. I mean, like, he was so controversial too. Like, I mean, you know, with me growing up as a kid in the 80s, you know, Ozzy Osbourne was the devil, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, you know, he was like the most evil rock star of all time. When it turned out he was actually one of the nicest, you know, and very religious person. Yeah. But nobody knew that because nobody cared to get to know that. They just know that about him. They just, you know, used him as like this, you know, Satan image or whatever. And like, none of his music was ever about that. I don't even know where that came from. But like, you know, Black Sabbath music is extremely religious in some cases. Like, After Forever is clearly a religious song. You know, so I'm really not sure where this whole thing came from about like Ozzy being like satanic or whatever.
It was probably,
but it's still going on though.
Yeah, it's probably like the look and imagery that he kind of had, and of course he called himself the Prince of Darkness. You know, that probably helped.
That's true. That probably didn't help. That probably didn't help him. But I mean, even like right after he died, like, you know, like like somebody posted on Threads or something about how like Ozzy Osbourne. I heard Ozzy Osbourne was like a fortune teller or something like that, like basically saying that he was like a devil worshiper is what they were trying to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you heard that? Like, you know, this is not 1985. You know, this is like, we know the truth now.
Yeah. You know,
I can't believe people are still trying to perpetrate this bullshit in 2025. But yeah, man, Ozzy was like an icon. Like I think I've told this story before, but my first concert that I actually wanted to go to was Almost Ozzy because Metallica was opening on the Master of Puppets tour, and my mom wouldn't let me go. I was in like 5th or 6th grade or something. I've been there before. And my mom wouldn't let me go. But yeah, but then I saw Ozzy several times after that. Did you ever see him solo? I know you saw him with Black Sabbath. But did you ever see a solo Ozzy show?
No, I've only saw him at that. I think it was 2005. It's either 2005 or 4.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, 4.
We saw the same tour.
Yeah,
the same Black Sabbath tour.
So, you know, I knew of Ozzy because my dad used to play Iron Man all the fucking time. Like, I remember waking up when I was a youngster, fucking on a Saturday morning, blaring Iron Man, fucking just blasting through the fucking walls. I was like, man, what the hell's going on?
Man, my dad loved it. Cool.
Yeah, he was playing. My dad would play. I would remember the 2 albums he would play on rotation would be Iron Man, the whole Black Sabbath Iron Man CD.
Yeah.
And it would be Poison, of all people. He played those two.
Okay.
All right. So that was my first interaction with Ozzy. I knew him from Black Sabbath only. You know what I mean? And I did it. You know, for kayfabe over here, everybody. I'm more of a '90s guy. 90s kid.
You are.
You know what I mean? Even though I love the 80s, especially horror movies.
Yeah.
But I know more of my childhood is more in like the 90s and stuff. So, you know, I didn't really kind of grow up with Ozzy, you know, solo stuff. And I didn't even realize he did any solo stuff until his reality show started to play, The Osbournes. And that's actually where I got to get to know Ozzy a lot better, besides hearing them when my dad blare him when I was a kid, was from his reality show. All right? Okay. And from there, that's, you know, obviously I got to see Black Sabbath in concert, and that was a huge deal for me at the time. I was like, hell yeah. And that's like one of the, you know, those concerts out there that you go to in life that you're really grateful that you got to go. You know, I would say my 2 are the Black Sabbath one, and I got to see the Black Dollar Murder, all right, before, you know, Trevor like passed away. And I got to meet him too, which is a super cool guy. And he's one of my favorite bands as well too. So it's like, you know, concerts like that, you know, we always say like, you know, if y'all think about going to that concert, you know, especially the band's a little older and stuff, you know, always try to go if you can. You know what I mean?
Always go to the show. Yeah. You never know when the last time's going to be.
Now, of course,
you just don't know.
Stuff happens, you know what I mean? Like life and trips gets in the way, you get it. But if you can make it and stuff, you know, always try to go if you can. Yeah, but that's pretty much, that's how I kind of knew Ozzy. Most of my stuff was actually from his reality show. Like, that's when I got to see him, like, you know, be the person, you know, that with the family and everything. Because, you know, his kids were, like, kind of like our age and stuff when I was watching that show. They might have been, like, a little younger, maybe. I'm not sure. But I got most of my experience from him from that show and everything. I never really went to Ozzy's, like, solo shows, you know. I wouldn't say I was like the biggest like Ozzy, you know, solo fan. All right. But, you know, that's something I do kind of regret because I do like some of the songs on there.
But his I was going to say, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say his legacy though. One of his legacies, making Ozfest was like one of my favorite festivals to go to every year when it was going on. And it sucked when it like went away. So hopefully they can bring that shit back for his memory. That'd be awesome.
Hopefully. Yeah, I was going to say that my experience with Ozzy is almost the exact opposite. Like, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, you know, like I heard the Ozzy solo stuff, right? Yeah. But I never, I didn't know until like I got a little bit older, like an older kid, well before I was a teenager, but my cousins played Black Sabbath for me and told me that Ozzy Osbourne was the lead singer of Black Sabbath, and I had no idea. Like, so I just knew him as a solo artist. And then that's how I discovered Black Sabbath, and then like I went backwards from there and heard all that music. But yeah, it was kind of the opposite for me. But I remember I hadn't thought about the Osbournes in years, but like I always it really annoyed me when the Osbournes was on because so many people, that's all they knew Ozzy Osbourne was. Because people would talk about how they liked Ozzy Osbourne. Like, oh, I love Ozzy Osbourne. He's so funny. Like he's some kind of fucking comedian or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't even know that Ozzy Osbourne made music.
No, a lot of people didn't.
Like they just thought he was some like, some person on a reality show.
Yeah.
But I can't think of what it's called. But if you ever get the chance, his son made a documentary about Ozzy, about his dad.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was that he wanted to make this documentary showing the other side of what his dad's actually like.
Yeah.
But like there's a scene in it where he's showing Jack, that's his name, right? Jack Osbourne.
Yeah,
Jack showing Ozzy these music videos that Ozzy made in the 80s. And Ozzy's just watching them, and then he's like, that didn't happen. Like he's just like, he's like, this is not real. Like he has no memory of doing them at all. And he's like, I can't believe it.
Too much partying, man.
But that's a really funny scene. But yeah, Ozzy was like amazing. Just an amazing part of my life. Like I love Ozzy Osbourne. I've been listening to Ozzy like nonstop since he passed.
Yeah. You got to, man. Some of the classics on here.
But yeah, and I have one other funny story about Ozzy that hopefully my friend Mark doesn't mind me telling. So I have this friend named Mark who Mark's an unusual guy. He's a great dude, but he's just unusual, and you just have to know Mark to understand him.
Yeah.
But Mark is one of those people that just seems to have really bad luck, right? Like nothing ever seems to work out the way it's supposed to. And he has this story about how his ex-wife caused him to miss an Ozzy Osbourne concert, and he never got to go see Ozzy. And so in 2018 or so, Ozzy was going to do a tour with Megadeth, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy a ticket to see Ozzy, and I'm going to take Mark.
Yeah.
So I buy the ticket, tour comes up, show gets canceled. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. Tour gets canceled. That's fine. 2019, Ozzy gets hurt in the ATV accident or whatever. Tour gets canceled. 2020 comes up. COVID happens. Tour gets canceled. Then eventually they just cancel it, period, and it just gave me my money back for the ticket. And to this day, I blame Mark for his bad luck for me not getting to see Ozzy again. But yeah.
Damn, that's some string of bad luck there. That's crazy.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I never saw Ozzy like in the 90s, but I don't think I ever got to see him again other than at that Black Sabbath show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I saw the No More Tours tour. And I think that might have been the last time I saw him. So that's like 91 or something. So I probably haven't seen Ozzy in years. But the show was always great. Yeah, Ozzy's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
I love rest in peace, Ozzy.
Rest in peace, man. Like definitely one of the most like iconic figures, man. It's just crazy to think about like, how many people like he's touched and how many people he's helped out. Like even doing Ozfest. I mean, he's helped out some of these bands get recognized. Like going to Ozfest when I did during like 2005 or 2004 to like 2007 and stuff, I found out about a lot of my favorite bands to this day from just going to Ozfest. You know?
Yeah.
Just for having a tour there. I mean, the amount of bands and music industry that he's helped out it's like you can't replace that. It's just legendary. It's crazy.
Right. And I think I got in free at that Ozfest, but like what you were paying at the time for Ozfest to see all of those bands in a row. Because I think the night we saw them. So to talk about how much of an impact this was, like I saw Slipknot on the second stage.
Yeah, second stage.
Like they weren't even on the main stage. They were on the second stage.
And if you remember, I'm pretty sure Lamb of God and Hatebreed opened for them on the second stage. Yeah. Plus all these, and Lamb of God and well, maybe not Hatebreed, but Lamb of God and Slipknot, they sell out like arenas right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, it's crazy.
And Lacuna Coil played at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 in the morning. Yeah. I remember them there too.
But then on the main stage, I can't remember who the early bands were, but I know Dimmu Borgir was there.
Yeah, they were there. Yep, I remember them.
Judas Priest,
Black Label Society was one of them.
Black Label
too.
Society, Judas Priest.
Yeah. He came out on the motorcycle. Sabbath. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was so good.
Was a great tour.
That was a great tour.
Yeah, I miss Ozfest. I miss everything, man. So, well, you know, this is Retro Blood. We're stuck in the 80s, so we'll be talking more about Ozzy when he pops up. But we always like doing it because he definitely has a lot of fun stuff that he did in the 80s. Shout out to Bark of the Mood. We talked about that album before, one of my favorites.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, it's a great album.
But let's go on to the pro wrestling, because wasn't it the same week?
It was the same week, for sure.
Can you believe that? And it happened around the July, 21st to. Yeah, it was like a couple of days later after Ozzy. I think
it was like the end of one week, and then because I remember I was because I wasn't in Missouri yet when Ozzy died, and then the day after I got to Missouri was when Hogan died.
Yeah, because Hogan died July 24th. All right, and I believe Ozzy Osbourne. It was closed July 22nd. So about 2 days.
Okay, so it was 2 days before. Yeah, so it was the day before I left.
Yeah,
because I left on the 23rd, and then the day after I got there, Hogan died.
Yeah. So, like I said, another prominent figure of the 1980s, the one, the only, the immortal one, the larger-than-life man himself, with the 24-inch pythons, which I might have on my arm right over here. All right. The man of America. All right. The say your prayers, eat your vitamins. All right. Train every day. Be a little Hulkamaniac guy. God, Hulk Hogan, brother. The immortal Hulk Hogan has passed away.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hogan. There's so much stuff to say about Hogan. Because his career in wrestling is who is a bigger icon in American pro wrestling than Hulk Hogan? You know what I mean?
I was thinking about that all week when we talked about doing this part of the show.
Yeah.
And I really don't think anybody. I think he is the most iconic wrestler. Yeah. Now, before he came back to WWE again, I would say that possibly Stone Cold Steve Austin was more popular in his era than Hogan was during his era, but Hogan is the most iconic wrestler of all time. Now, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Well, I don't think. Yeah.
The thing is, okay, so the two arguments when wrestling fans talk about who's the most iconic American, we're not talking about Japanese, or we're not talking about Mexico, because obviously in Japan, it's either going to be Antonio Inoki or it's going to be Riki Choshu. And then in Mexico is going to be El Santo. Those guys are they're such high level popularity in those countries that they write history books about them. It's crazy stuff.
They do. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this is American pro wrestling, which is, I would say Hogan is definitely far beyond them, because the thing is, the two guys you can kind of get close to his level is Austin, like you said, and of course The Rock. All right.
Yeah.
But my thing is, Austin's time on top wasn't as long as Hogan was.
Nope.
And Hogan's more of a brand, name out there more to non-wrestling fans than Austin is. You know what I mean? You can ask almost anybody on the street that doesn't know anything about wrestling. They're probably either going to know Hulk Hogan or The Rock, I would say. And the reason they know The Rock is mostly from his movies, not his pro wrestling. Movies. Hogan is known for his wrestling, not his movies. Well, kind of. I mean, he has movies. Okay. The only movie I could say that a lot of wrestling fans gravitated towards Hulk Hogan was Rocky III. All right? I don't know if anybody's going to be like, I became a Hulk Hogan fan because of Mr. Nanny, brother. All right?
No. Maybe No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, a couple of things about Hulk Hogan. Terry Bollea. All right? Like I said, we'll talk a little bit about some of the controversy with him. But, he started off on wrestling. His big thing, obviously it's kind of hard to talk about some Hogan stories, because when he talks about some of his stories, obviously they might not be the most truthful stories. Like the time that he tried out to be the bassist in Metallica.
Well, yeah, he was saying that both Metallica and the Rolling Stones wanted him to join the band.
Yeah.
Just
imagine that.
Neither one of those stories are probably true.
That is what
In fact, I'm almost certain they're not.
That is what I call a Christopher Walken moment here on the Retro Blood. If that would have happened, all right. Just imagine Hulk Hogan and Metallica, brother, jacked as fucking shit down there on stage.
I'm assuming that he was talking about how they wanted him to be the bassist in the early days.
Yeah.
Not to replace Jason Newsted, not to replace Cliff Burton. I'm assuming.
Exactly. So, obviously, but Hogan, he was in a band and he did do music. And I think it was at the local club he played music to. I believe, I don't remember who exactly it was, but there was somebody that told him to get into professional wrestling because he was a tall dude. He was like 6'7". All right, tall. It wasn't as big during that time. He actually get bigger later when he actually started his wrestling career. He was kind of like tall and lengthy at this time, but he started to do wrestling and stuff, and he started to get a little bigger and get better in the ring. That's when he became like the Super Destroyer. He was under a mask. He went by a bunch of... So when Hogan kind of started wrestling, you can like go to a territory and be a completely different person, like just the next town over. You know what I mean? Because there was no... a lot in the 70s and stuff, maybe there were like some territories that might have some syndicate television, but most of the time you could be a different character in all these different territories. So, Hogan was Super Destroyer in one territory. He has like his real name in another territory. He has this other shoot name in the territory. And I believe it was Vince McMahon Sr. who gave him the Hulk name. All right.
Okay.
When he started working with him. And, some stuff about... So early Hulk Hogan is actually very fascinating to me. Okay? Because we all know the 84 Hogan when he beats the Iron Sheik and he wins the belt and everything, and that's when Hulkamania blew up, brother. All right? It's all over the place. But early Hulk Hogan, it was very interesting because, he was a heel in Vince McMahon's WWF at the time, and he brought him in mostly to fight some of the big guys or like to be Andre's back and forth opponent. And some of their matches between the two were really good. All right, when he was kind of like the Incredible Hulk, you can't beat him and stuff. And I think he was managed by Freddie Blassie, I believe.
Yep.
So some of that was good, and then he would do his run in some like Memphis territory. You know what I mean? And then it became the time for him to do Rocky III. And I think the story is that, there's two sides. So one side, Hogan kind of just says like he was working I think he was working for WWF at the time, and he got a phone call saying that Sylvester Stallone his agents wanted to talk to him, and he kind of blew it off because he thought it was just the boys, making it up. And then it actually was real. Like they actually wanted to get a hold of him and have him play the role. Yeah. Was it Thunderlips?
Thunderlips, yeah. Absolutely, in Rocky III.
So, that's how he got the role. But it's also known, too, that it was Terry Funk who was the one who kind of, like, got Hogan that role as well, too, because Terry Funk did movies, before Hulk Hogan. I think he was wasn't he in that National Lampoon movie? Terry Funk was? He was in some, like, national, like, they redid that movie that had Conor McGregor in it. I forgot what it's called. It was like this, like, I don't know. It's like one of those National Lampoon movies, and Terry Funk was like a bouncer. So
you're thinking about Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, that's the one. Okay,
yeah, that's not a National Lampoon.
Whatever. It's all
anyway. Yes, he was the original Roadhouse. Yeah.
So he's done movies before, and I think he knew some of the Sylvester Stallone's stuff. So Sylvester Stallone got a hold of Terry Funk, and Terry Funk told the Hulk to do it. And the rumor was that Vince McMahon Sr. did not want Hulk to do movies. He's like, you don't do movies, you're a wrestler. But Hulk's like, I'm doing this shit. So that's why Vince McMahon fired him. He did the movie, and that's when after he did the movie, that's when he went to the AWA. All right?
Yeah.
And then
Vince McMahon Sr.
Senior, yes.
Yeah.
So he went to the AWA, and like during the time, he would do AWA and New Japan. And bro, if anybody's on here right now, okay, and they're interested in Hulk Hogan at all, and you think you've seen all this stuff before, look up Hulk Hogan in New Japan.
It's a completely different person.
You will be blown away. I could not believe. Did you see that? There's a video going around. The highlight video of Hogan in Japan. This guy was a fucking phenomenal wrestler. I mean, holy shit.
He was.
So different.
He's doing like drop toe holds and all kinds of things. Like Hogan in America is like the big boot and the leg drop, and that's pretty much it.
Posing.
But but Hogan was a hell of a wrestler. Like, people talk about how Hulk Hogan had two moves. Yeah. And his response was, I only need two moves, brother. Yeah. But in Japan, tactics, he was great. Yeah. He was a hell of a wrestler. He was really good.
Really good. So, and, at the time, Hogan was making really good money in Japan. you know, and he would make okay money in the AWA, but he was blowing up in the AWA because the movie, and that's pretty much where Hulkamania started, was the AWA. You know what I mean? It had, you know, American Made. That was one of his first shirts that was like selling out everywhere. You know, he would have the white tights on. I think he went between like blue and white tights in the AWA. And he became so popular that they should have, but they didn't, because Vern Gagne didn't want to give up a spot because he was like the owner. He was going to beat Nick Bockwinkel for the belt, and he did win the belt, but then they reversed it on him. They did like a dusty finish on him and stuff.
Dusty finish, yeah.
Because Vern did not want to give Hogan all the reins. He didn't. Basically, there's a lot of territories which we talk about here before. Like, so there's two different mind frames that used to come to like booking territories. One territory, like let's say when we talk about Crockett always books where you have like the heel. You'll have like the big top heel has your champion, right? And you constantly have all your hot baby faces chase that heel. Okay. WWF, like you see when they brought on Hulk Hogan, it's all about the mega top baby face, and all the heels are chasing him, and he's overcoming all these heels. So the booking philosophy was different, and I believe Vern wanted to go to the more old school one of having the heel on top like Nick Bockwinkel and constantly have Hogan chase. But I feel like also too that Vern, I don't know, I guess there was just something about, like, he did not want to go all the way with Hulk Hogan. All right, and then eventually, I believe it was because of some WWE Victory magazine that Hulk Hogan got in contact with Mr. McMahon, you know, Vince McMahon. And McMahon wanted to use Hulk Hogan as his top babyface star to take over all the territories and kind of like, you know, regionalize wrestling and make it like go national on TV and everything. And he saw the popularity of Hulk Hogan in the AWA with the movie role, the size, everything. And that's why he, you know, offered him all this huge money to jump ship. And the way Hogan was getting treated, like he was getting screwed out of his royalties of AWA. He wasn't getting the bell. He wasn't getting the rocket ship. He actually gave like Vern, like, you know, a couple weeks notice or a couple months notice that he was going to be leaving. And Vern didn't believe it at all. He was like, oh, you're not going anywhere. Because, you know, the AWA, they were hot at this time. Like Hogan was still making money. He was making money from AWA and New Japan, a lot of money. Okay, just think about how much money Vince McMahon had to throw at him to have him
to get him to do
that, which is crazy. You know, in the very early 80s monies too.
Right, and the thing too, before you continue, is the thing that people have to realize that they may not understand is that today that seems obvious, right? Yeah. Like, why would you not leave this smaller territory to go to WWF or WWE?
It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that because you didn't have. There was no national champion. There was a national champion, but there was no national like promotion. Like nobody toured the whole country. Like, you know, nobody knew who a single wrestler was all over the country except maybe Ric Flair, but that wasn't happening yet though. You know, so Vince was a visionary in that he could see. I mean, I'm going to ask you your opinion on this, but like, I mean, it seems like he could see that Hogan could be a huge star, the biggest star that has ever been in wrestling. Yeah. And he wanted him, and he was going to pay whatever it took to get him. Yeah. And he was going to, you know, attach, you know, a rocket pack to that guy and shoot him to the moon. Yeah. And he saw this vision that wrestling could be a national thing. He could take over the whole country. So it's pretty amazing that he saw that. Yeah. But yeah, so Hogan jumping ship from New Japan and AWA to go to WWE was a big gamble for him. Yeah, really, you know, it wasn't guaranteed like, you know, you would think of it as today. Yeah. But, you know, it was definitely a gamble for him to do that.
Yeah, and like it's crazy to think. So like the transition from him to AWA, you know, Vern was booking everything like that, and then Hogan just didn't show up to the dates, and the Vern was like, "What the hell? Where are you?" It's like, brother, I signed with WWF. It's like,
I told you I was leaving.
And he lived and stuff, and it kind of like they were like breaking his name on television and everything, sound like he's a, you know, phony champion or whatever like that. And you know, when then you could see like, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, I mean, it happened so quickly, man. I mean, this guy gets into the territory. Was it maybe like 83? Maybe the tail end of 83 going into 84?
It was 83 or 84.
Yeah.
Well, he won the title in January of '84, right?
So it was in '83 most of the time where he got there, and like almost. So basically, it's weird because he showed up to the WWF and he was still the heel for a little bit, but then like he got the baby face like right away. All right, and then they kind of built him up until the very magic moment where he fought the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden and won the title. He had Andre out there celebrating with him. And, you know, just a big moment for wrestling fans because, you know, finally, just think about this. If you're a Hulk Hogan fan in the AWA and stuff, now you can see him on TV, you know, national TV, and he finally won the belt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, just right from there, man, right from '84, I mean, they were just, you know, we talk about it all the time on Retro Blood. You know, once 1984 hit, once the rock and wrestling connection with MTV hit, I mean, there was no stopping the WWF. I mean, they were just so hot. They were crushing all these territories. There's only two that can like semi match up to them, which is Memphis and Crockett. But you know, even them, it was so hard to stop. You know, Hulk Hogan in the '80s. I mean, he was the man. Like of all the characters that we talk about on the show. Macho Man, Ric Flair, Harley Race, I mean, the Von Erichs, you know, Jimmy Snuka, you know, you name them all. I mean, all of them. The top guy of the whole 80s era was Hulk Hogan in American wrestling.
Right. And I wonder how much thought he gave to that. Like, you know, to Vince seeing Hogan and saying, that's my guy. You know, he could have picked other people. He could have picked Ric Flair.
Well,
you know what I mean? But
I don't know if Ric Flair would have went because Ric Flair at the time, you know, was a traveling, you know, world champion for the NWA.
True.
So there was consideration, which is what I heard from other shows and stuff, that there was, you know, if Hogan wasn't the guy or worked out, who would have been?
Yeah.
They were thinking maybe Jimmy Snuka, but the problem was Jimmy Snuka around the time that Hogan was about to get hot of 1983 and 1984, Jimmy Snuka was having those legal problems.
Okay. Where he killed his girlfriend?
Where, supposedly killed his girlfriend.
Supposedly killed his
girlfriend. We all know he did. We all know what he did. Okay? He was having those problems. Plus, he just didn't have, you know, the charisma was there, but it wasn't fully there. Right. The other option was, and I think this would have been a very interesting option, but it definitely would have worked out, would have been Kerry Von Erich.
See, I was thinking that. I was like, you know, Kerry Von Erich might have been a good choice, too.
Yeah. It wouldn't have worked out.
But it wouldn't have worked out.
The body was there. The good old boy spirit was there, but he could just not do promos. There's no way you can get Kerry Von Erich to do what Hulk Hogan did at all. There's just no way.
That's true.
You can't make cartoons of Kerry Von Erich and shit. Like, you know, you just can't do it. Hulk Hogan was the perfect character for that 80s run. I mean, there is no... I mean, listen, we talk about this all the time on the Retro Blood. If me and Alison were our age right now in the 80s, we would, you know, we would like Hulk Hogan. He would be like the... I don't know, like the John Cena now. Like, he's kind of for the kids.
Exactly.
We were like, this guy's for the kids. We don't give a fuck about him. We want to go see real wrestling over here. But, brother, if you're a kid, you know what I mean? Like,
in the 80s.
In the 80s, I mean, that was the man. Yeah. They had action figures about him, cartoons about him. He was on MTV hanging out with them. They had, remember the Pile Drivers albums and shit they had on there?
And crazy. that was also unheard of too, because, you know, action figures of wrestlers, not that it hadn't been done before, but it was kind of looked down on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I believe they didn't even call them action figures. I think they called them dolls.
The dolls, something like that.
You know, they make dolls of us, you know, and then they got a little bit of money from it. But, you know, WWE figured out how to capitalize and how to make money off of Hogan's image. And, you know, it's amazing. Like, you know, Hogan was the best at getting over probably from anybody that's ever existed. You know what I mean? Like, he was better at getting over. He was better at getting his way. You know, he got booked the way he wanted to get booked, you know, for the most part. And then there's that story about, to follow up on that, is when he left the AWA, there's that story that Vern Gagne paid, or tried to pay the Iron Sheik $100,000 to break Hogan's leg and bring the title back to AWA. Yeah.
But Iron Sheik said he was never going to do that.
No,
he was like, nah, I ain't gonna do all that shit.
No, he seems to be actually a straight up guy. Iron Sheik seemed to be a very straight up
guy.
Well,
you know, he would, you know, when he was alive, he would give Hogan so much shit all the time.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. But, you know, something very interesting about Hulk Hogan, too. You know, obviously, you know, we will talk about him some more when we do the show because it's all about 80s movies and stuff.
Right.
But, you know, Hogan, I mean, he was the main attraction when it comes to WrestleManias, SummerSlams, like all these big pay-per-views that still go on nowadays. WrestleMania. The reason they solely got big is because Hulk Hogan was in the main event. The first ever SummerSlam. Big because Hulk Hogan was in the main event. Saturday night's main event. Why do you think they even had Saturday night's main event? Because of Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Survivor Series even. I mean, all these huge shows because of Hulk Hogan in the main event. You know, him going against Macho Man, Andre the Giant. Him and Andre the Giant on that Saturday night's main event is still one of the most watched fucking, you know, with the referee did the plastic surgery to change his face and stitch.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here, brother? He changed his face. That was still one of the most watched shows ever on TV. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, that's how big this guy was in the 80s. It was just like, I mean, you had Pepsi, you had pizza, you had horror movies, and you had Hulk Hogan, brother. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you got.
Yeah.
But I think
Pizza Hut,
some
Hulk Hogan.
Some other stuff is really interesting about Hogan, too. Is he not only leveled up an industry in the 80s, but he also revived it in the 90s.
Yes.
It's crazy. With the whole
and he also
NWO run.
revived himself too. Like he really had with NWO run, he saw that as an opportunity to change his image up. Yeah. You know, because he realized just as much as anybody else that the whole eat your vitamins red and yellow thing was going out. Yeah. You know, it wasn't as popular as it used to be. But then he reinvented himself as a heel. Yeah. Which nobody ever thought they would see. You know, Hulk Hogan as a heel again. Yep. Because most of those people probably didn't even know Hulk Hogan was ever a heel. I mean, I was one of those people. Like, I didn't know. I mean, most of my studying about Hulk Hogan, to be honest with you, is in the past, like, 15 years or so. Yeah. You know, I was pretty dismissive of Hulk Hogan up until, like, I started actually learning about his impact on the business. Yeah. But yeah, like, when the NWA, like, NWO, when he came in with Hall and Nash, and then like started the NWO and like reinvented himself again and reinvented wrestling and took those guys to the top, you know. And like, could the NWO have existed without Hogan? Sure, but it wouldn't have been as big as quick. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, just at the time is very shocking because this guy was basically was a baby face since like fucking probably like 1980. You know what I mean? Yeah. All the way up until like 1996. And, you know, obviously, you know, in the 90s, at the early 90s, you know, I would say, like, it was still strong because WWF still used Hogan. You know, they used Hogan to put the Warrior over. You know what I mean? They wanted to have the Warrior kind of be the new guy, but he just wasn't. So they still went back to Hulk Hogan. Yeah. They were supposed to be the big dream match between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. I guess Hogan didn't think that would be a good match, or they did matches on house shows or something. Vince McMahon didn't think it was going to be a good match. That's a match that should have definitely happened in the early 90s, but didn't. Right. You know, obviously they had Hogan, you know, the whole big steroid trial was probably not the best on his image. And of course, when he went on, what was that talk show where he went on that he lied about being on steroids and stuff too? That probably wasn't the best image.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember what show it was, but yeah. So
you know, that stuff was, you know, was kind of tarnishing an image. Then he was, you know, Vince McMahon was trying to get him, you know, he goes for the younger generation. You know what I mean? The new generation. Trying to like get some of the older 80s out and trying to get some new stars. Obviously, he was doing that because everybody was under the gun of taking steroids, so he wanted to go with little smaller guys. So, you know, Hogan also had that deal of being trying to go to Hollywood. You know what I mean? Do the whole Thunder in Paradise. I guess during interviews and stuff, he just basically didn't really like filming some Thunder in Paradise. And he got a huge deal because of Ric Flair. Ric Flair gave Eric Bischoff the contact information for Hulk Hogan to kind of get him to come to WCW. And I think Hogan just saw the writing on the wall. It's like, you know, this show, I'm doing all this work and stuff, and they're going to pay me how much? Turner's going to pay me how much? They're going to give me guarantees. They're going to give me probably the highest salary in pro wrestling at this time. Plus, they're going to give me stocks in the company, points on the pay-per-views. I'm like, I take that shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can control everything I do.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. Fuck, take it, brother. They did a whole big parade about him coming in. I still love Hulk Hogan's WCW theme, brother. He's American made. Dun, 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 dun. It's a great song. I do like Real American from Rick Danger or whatever. I like that one. But his WCW theme, I don't know, man. I like that one. It's good.
Yeah, that one was good. The one I liked the least was when he used the Jimi Hendrix song, Voodoo Child.
Voodoo Child, yeah. That was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but it's my least favorite. But yeah, I'm a Real American or what American Made or what that song's called is really good. WCW one was really good.
Yeah. But you know, like basically what happened was, you know, Hogan when he went to WCW, you know, at first it was kind of big, like big news and big pay-per-view celebrities. You know, it basically turned WCW around. You know, it made WCW, you know, all these big executives start to listen and go to WCW a lot more because, you know, you got Hulk Hogan on there. You know, we don't give a shit about Sting and Ric Flair and stuff, but you got Hulk Hogan over here. That's what the mainstream wanted to see, you know? So it really helped out WCW. But there was a point around 95 and 96 where Hogan was getting a little stale, and that's when the whole NWO stuff happened and it kind of really rejuvenized wrestling and really rejuvenized the Hollywood Hogan character, which is the one that I always loved.
Yes.
The Hollywood Hogan, because obviously I'm the 90s guy, and that's the one that when I started wrestling, that's the one I first was introduced to. I didn't know anything about the good old 80s Hulk Hogan, say your vitamins and prayers and stuff until I did some of my research when I was a kid.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, but my first time ever watching WCW was with the 1998 heel Hulk Hogan. All right? And it wasn't until he did that really bad feud with the Warrior, Ultimate Warrior, is when I started.
Terrible.
At that time, 98, because that was in 98. That's when I started to get a little bit more familiar with the Hulk Hogan background. You know, by reading magazines and stuff like that. All right, so you know, and of course, you know, his career. We can go on and on. He came back in the 2000s. He had that great match with The Rock in Toronto, which was like a really fun match. I remember watching that live. Not live in the building, but live on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I did too. That was chills. I got chills.
Yeah,
like,
when
they started.
Great, man.
Because that was him basically turning face again, right? Because he was a heel going into that.
Yeah.
You know, he was doing the NWO thing going into that, and then somewhere in that match, and it almost seemed like it wasn't really planned, although I'm sure it was. I know I'm just being a mark, but it almost seemed like they could just read the room, and then they just knew Hogan needed to turn face again.
Yeah.
You know, he became, before that match was over, he became the incredible Hulk Hogan again.
Yeah. It's great. And then he came back, he won the title from Triple H at that Backlash where he started to use the yellow and red again. It just, you know, he teamed up with Edge. I remember that being a very fun tag team for a while. He did that. He lost to Brock Lesnar, and he tried to come back and get his win back, but he didn't want to do that. He had that pretty good match with Vince McMahon. He had that very funny match with Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam. He had that weird match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam too. Of course, he did his whole TNA run. I mean, you can go on and on, you know.
Don't forget, though, when he got fired and he came back under a mask.
Yes, Mr. America.
It wasn't Hulk Hogan, Mr. America,
Mr.
but it
America,
definitely
brother.
wasn't Hulk Hogan.
It wasn't Hulk Hogan, brother. Remember when they actually did fire him, like how they like revealed that? They're like, well, we got tape of Hogan peeking his head out and peeking it in. That's when we found he's actually Mr. America, and we fired him.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, of course, later on, you know, obviously Hulk Hogan had a lot of, you know, trouble with the public image. Okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to his like tapes and, you know, the stuff that he said during those tapes, this whole Gawker lawsuit, which is crazy. And not a lot of people remember that. I remember that when I was going down a lot. You know, obviously the stuff what happened with Nick and Nick's the accident that he had to, you know, all the controversy with all that. You know, it's just, I mean, definitely very you know, polarizing figure. You know what I mean? Like very, you know, I could see the controversy that could be, you know, saying those, you know, hateful things and everything. But you know, it's tough. Like sometimes you gotta, like, you know, there's a human being and there's the performer. You know what I mean? I'm not talking, when we talk about Hulk Hogan, we're not talking about like Terry Bollea. I mean, trust me, we know he was in a court case saying that Hulk Hogan's penis is 10 feet tall, but Terry Bollea's is not that big. Right. Okay.
Exactly.
So you gotta look at two different, you know, aspects of it.
And the things you have to understand too, and keeping politics out of all this, like, you know, obviously Hogan spoke at the national convention for Trump, and I'm like, you got like, whether I'm for that or not, right? And whether I'm for that or not, I mean, I feel like people, as an American, people should be able to have whatever political opinion they want, like that. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with me. I'm friends with all kinds of people who I don't agree with politically. But like the thing is like, like he did some things that were pretty shitty. Said some, kind of racist things, which we only have one instance of him saying that. But, like people make mistakes and there's all kinds of people do shitty things, and, like if I were, no longer talking to, people that I know that said something racist, I probably wouldn't talk to half my family, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So like, it's just one of those things where like, you kind of have to separate like, like I don't agree with everything this person is, but I still respect some of the things they've done versus like, well, this person did something bad, so they're dead to me kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a tough one out there, I would say, you know what I mean? Because,
yeah, for sure.
I think the big issue though, with Hogan and the comments that he made and stuff, is like the apology really never happened. You know what I mean? Like there was that story too when he even went to Raw and he did a big old apology supposedly in front of all the wrestlers, and he didn't really have an apology. It was kind of like just don't get caught type of thing.
Right.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not everybody, no matter how big they are in your eyes, is gonna be the most perfect person. I think that's what the thing was. I think Hulk Hogan, the myth about Hulk Hogan was this is America, brother. This is red, white, and blue. This is goodness. This is work hard. Work hard, do good, the American way. Build yourself up, be a great role model figure. Yeah, that's what the Hulk Hogan character was, but it doesn't mean that's who like Terry Bollea was. You know what I mean? Terry Bollea was a human being that fucked up and did bad. I would say he did say bad stuff. He, obviously there's a lot of opinions about how he worked himself in the business. There's obviously the stuff he said.
Yeah.
It's crazy like that. Just like Ozzy. A little. Ozzy obviously great figure. Would Ozzy in the '80s be a role model to a young kid? Probably not, because he's out there getting fucked up. But doesn't mean what he did in his industry helped out so many people. What Ozzy did in the music industry helped out a ton of artists get themselves known to a wider audience. Same thing with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, from his impact in pro wrestling, gave pro wrestling, huge eyeballs on it. Fans. Yeah. Big industry that's still going to this day. All right? Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that wrestling would be as big as it is today if it weren't for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No way.
So, but everybody, that's our two big ass history segment this week. We had to, brother. We had to come on here and talk about the deaths of both Ozzy and Hulk Hogan because, this is our 80s show, brother. I mean, of course, we're still going to talk about those two guys on our shows when they pop up here. But yeah, we just want to give our respects to these two legends on here. So, I mean, definitely, if it wasn't for these guys, who knows what the industries would look like nowadays. It's crazy. So, but speaking of what the industry might not look like if this movie got made, what would Italian horror look like if Conquest didn't get made? Because we're talking about who booked this shit, brother, of the Conquest. All right.
This is something else.
All right, so this one was obviously, and I am very interested to see why. Like, why the fuck did he even make this movie? Was he high? Did he just want to see titties? I mean, I have no idea.
I think that he's like, oh, I want to make a fantasy movie, and I'm going to make a Lucio Fulci version of a fantasy movie, and this is what we got.
So obviously we got Fulci back, Lucio Fulci back. We do have music by Claudio. My boy Claudio is back. I love Claudio's music because it always reminds me of Castlevania from the N64.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say
Fucking
it
awesome,
has
brother.
the same typical music of any Fulci movie, but I mean it's Claudio, like you said, it's Claudio Simonetti, the guy from Goblin.
Yeah.
So he did a great score for this.
Great score.
He did a great
score. The music was great for this. Of course, we have the story is written by Giovanni de Clementa.
Yeah,
my boy.
So Fulci didn't write this one.
Yeah. So pretty interesting. So a couple of stuff about the making of Conquest. All right. So the film's original title, you'll like this one, Alison. It was called Mace the Outlaw.
Mace the Outlaw. Is that a better title than Conquest or no?
Well, I mean,
or is Conquest better?
I think I kind of like Conquest better. You know what I mean? It's like more of like it's kind of like more of a broader title. Like this one is obviously this focuses on the Mace character. This film was an Italian, Spanish, Mexican. That's what it says on here. Co-production filmed in Mexico. It was also they also did some filming in Rome and Italy. So
yeah, I think I was gonna say I think that all the outdoor scenes were filmed in Mexico, and then the studio scenes, like we talk about a lot, were filmed in Rome.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Fulci had this is what this says on here. Fulci had signed a 2-picture contract with the producer Giovanni, but after the two had some disagreements. Oh, about what you say? Was it the snake fucking? All right, with the maybe
I was gonna say
maybe Fulci was like, listen, bro, if I don't get my snake fucking in this film, you ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, there wasn't enough snake fucking Fulci, so he bailed.
But after the two disagreed during the making of Conquest, Fulci left immediately after shooting the film and refused to complete the contract. So he only did one film with our boy Giovanni. Giovanni sued Fulci in court, but lost. The judge opined that Fulci could not be compelled to work.
Yeah.
Damn, I wonder what they thought about. Like, what do you think it was? Like, I could have just imagined. There's so much wacky shit in this movie. Like, what could they possibly? What can they possibly agree on?
Fulci is like, oh, I need more snake fucking, and he won't let me have the snake fucking I want. And then the judge is like, Giovanni, gotta give him that. He's gotta give the man a snake fucking if you want him to work for you.
And Giovanni's like, I ain't doing that, brother. All right, no. The snake can rub her body, but we ain't fucking doing that penetration like he wants. So it says Conquest was released on. By the way, I don't know. We're just guessing. Okay, I don't know if Fulci really wanted. If he was still alive, I would ask him. Okay, but he's not.
These are not facts. We're speculating.
Yes, we're speculating. Yeah. So Conquest was released on June 2nd, 1983 in Italy, and on August 19th, 1983 in Spain, under the title. I'm not even going to read that because I'll fuck it up. Italian film historian Roberto Cordi described the film as a box office bomb in Italy, where it grossed less than 100 million Italian. Conquest was later released theatrically in the United States in April of 1984. So like I said, about a year after this one was released in Italy. A couple other stuff. I'm probably going to fuck up this name, but I usually do with Italian names. All right. Alejandro Uli, the film's cinematographer, used a fog machine and a soft focus lens with special filters to give the film more of an ambient. So that's why with like I told you, that was a camera effect, brother, to make it look all weird like that.
So it was by ambient meaning you can't see shit.
You can't see shit. It's all blurry. It's kind of like weird. Like if I could do it right here, I might in my editing stuff. But it's like this blurry effect where it's supposed to make you look like you're like in a dream, but you're not in a dream. You're in some fantasy land. Even though everybody in this fantasy land is like caveman and shit.
Right.
And they have one magic 80s bow that's blue.
That was great.
All right, so Fulci said in an interview, this should be fun, that the film's quality of being low budget did not distract from its environment value. He emphasized the importance of the visual elements, such as the fog-covered lands and the weird population of the film, which he believed would linger in the viewer's mind as the work of an artist with a distractive visual style. So, basically he was trying to do the, which Italians are really good at, which we talk about all the time. He was trying to really do the elements, like make it look elementally pleasing, which I think it did. I thought it looked pretty good on like the, the way it looked and, the scenery, the background, the costumes were pretty fun. It kind of looked like a mix between like Star Wars and like Mad Max a little bit with some of the costumes that they had.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
With the Wolfman guys.
Yeah, the Wolfman,
werewolf looking. Monsters that right.
And then they had like the what's her name, the Koraz and stuff with her helmet, kind of look a little bit Mad Max style.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So despite being a flop in Italy, the film was actually well received in Mexico, where the lead actor George Rivero was popular, which obviously he was the man who played Mace on here. Let's see. The film's original shooting time, we talked about that. All right, so Fulci said when he was casting Orcron, all right, he auditioned several actresses, all right. He only focused on their bodies. Oh, okay. You don't say.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Because the character's face would be covered by a mask. Few of the actresses had an issue being topless during the audition. When Sabrina Sinai entered the room, her mother was with her, and Fulci was concerned her mother would refuse to let her daughter remove her blouse. To his surprise, she encouraged Sabrina to strip totally naked. Fulci felt Sabrina was too small-breasted for the role, but an investor sitting on the audition liked her and pushed Fulci to cast her. So that's how we get our people in the 80s, brother. All right.
Yep.
So.
She was. Sorry, go ahead.
Alison, how would that fly nowadays?
Well, I mean, I have a feeling stuff like that still happens, but it would definitely be on the cancel list if it got out.
Yeah, exactly.
You would definitely be canceled for that. But she was also in Enigma from last week. Yeah, she was in that in a small part. She actually was 20 years old when she was in this movie, and she retired at like 26 from acting altogether. So she's only in she's in a bunch of movies, but she made them all at the same time.
Yeah.
She was in a bunch of fantasy movies that I'd seen. She was in Ator, The Fighting Eagle, Invincible Barbarian, and she did some cannibal movies, which we'll talk about later on in the years as we do it, because we're going to be doing some of these more cannibal movies, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, one of the most popular.
But so she was love the cannibal ones. But so we never see her face in this entire movie. Well,
we see her demon face at the end.
Well, that's true. We do see the demon face at the end, but yeah.
Yeah,
Fulci's like, who needs the face? Who cares about the face?
Yeah, as long as we got the titties, that's all we need.
Yes.
We just got her titties, and we have her having this snake humper. That's all we need, brother. All right.
And I'm pretty sure she's nude through this entire movie, right?
There's
no scene where she's wearing clothes. Yeah. Right.
Well, I mean, she has like the panties with the spikes on them.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, there you go. But everybody, that was just a little bit of. I didn't get a whole lot of research of the. A Conquest, I guess it seems like he just, he had a deal with Giovanni, and it was Giovanni's story, and Fulci just so happened to be the director doing the story. So, this is a directed movie from Fulci, but I don't know if Fulci had too much say in the actual story board of the story, which is weird for Fulci because he usually does like both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's why it's weird that he didn't write this one. But he usually had way more. Well, I'm pretty sure, in all seriousness, that the disagreement they had between the two of them was about control of the movie.
Yeah, probably.
Because if you look at it, Fulci had just about absolute control over all the movies that he made.
Yeah.
In the past, like all those horror movies he wrote, he helped write. He came up with the story. He directed it all. And most of those movies were his idea. And this movie is not really so much his idea. He was just handed a script and said, let's make this movie. So I have a feeling that their falling out was over control of the movie itself.
I could definitely tell, though, that he definitely had a big part in the gore, though.
Movie. Yeah. It definitely has the typical Fulci gore in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, too, when we see the sea zombies, wherever the hell they were, that was very Fulci right there. The way they moved and stuff like that. That was very Fulci. Yeah. So, fun stuff. Let's get into it, though. Let's get into the full meal. Let's do it. Let's get into Conquest.
From a place beyond time comes a terrifying challenge beyond imagination. Conquest. Two men join forces in a struggle for power, in a realm of fear. Conquest. An act of courage to conquer the queen of darkness. They faced the armies of evil to win the weapons of light. Feel the power. Accept the challenge of Conquest.
All right. So we start off in a beach. And it's like it's like foggy out there. You know, because we're in Fantasyland now.
Right.
And on the beach, these figures disappear. All right. You ever do that, Alison? You ever go on a beach and just force,
I often disappear.
Yeah, disappear.
I just disappear and nobody knows where I am.
So we have this young dude who's going on a big journey. So they put they put his gear on him. His name is going to be, what's his name? Icarus?
Ilya,
Ilya,
isn't it? Yeah,
Ilias.
Ilias.
Ilias. All right?
Yeah.
I swear sometimes it's Mace call him Gilius, but his name is Ilias. Okay?
That's Ilias, yeah.
So I put in my notes, we get Gandalf over here telling him about his journey. Apparently this was his dad. Move over, Gandalf. We don't need you. We got fucking the dad of Ilias on here.
Yeah, that's fucking great. Dad.
So he was talking about his righteous travels, and he's going through the dark lair of evil path. You know, all that stuff you would hear in a video game intro.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? And he gave him a bow and arrow. And then this is like,
well, it's a magic bow.
And then this guy was like, "Is this the bow and arrow of Kronos?" And I was like, "Kronos? Wait a minute. Is that from Chrono Trigger? What's going on here?"
Who is Kronos? We don't know because he didn't tell us.
Yeah. So Kronos is like this like former warrior guy. I guess it's kind of like, like some sort of like Zeus or something, who used this magic 80s bow to slay his enemies for righteous and good and shit. And now the power of Kronos is going to Ilias. Okay?
Yeah. And you know that it's an 80s bow because the arrows are blue.
Yeah.
With the blue lightning.
The blue lightning, bro. You had to have the 80s blue lightning.
Yeah. You got to.
Are you even an 80s movie if you don't have it?
No. You got to have that.
So he's going to use his arrows to defeat his enemies, and this is the path to manhood.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this. You only become a man there, Alison.
How else would you get to manhood if you don't take your magic bow and go defeat enemies?
I don't know. What do the other men do in the village?
You know what I mean?
They're not men, apparently.
Apparently not.
So they set off, and now they all fade away. And this is when we get the music intro.
Yes.
Then we go to this island of smoke. By the way, there's a lot of smoke on here. If y'all want to do drinking games with us, you know I'm drinking over here. If y'all want to do drinking games with us, if I say Smoke Island or I say people sleeping, that's a keyword. Okay?
There's lots of both of that.
There's lots of both
for sure. Yeah.
So I put in my notes, we have native people hanging around, looking all depressed.
Sure.
We get a group of masked people hanging around and humming. Like they're just humming the whole time. I can see you do this, Alice. I can see you go out there in your North Carolina land and hang out with the forest trees and start humming.
Yep, that's a lot of my life is hanging out in the forest humming. With I can relate to these people.
Well, if you had a
weird guy,
if you had a man bear pig like they did, you would be humming too.
No kidding, man. I love that man bear.
I swear there was a. Did you see that? There were we have one guy who dresses in a wolf mask, and then I swear there was one that was in a pig mask too. All right, it was like both of them. All right,
it was awesome. Yeah.
So now we see our main girl, Okra. All right. Which, I mean, I think it's Okra or Okran.
Okran.
I'm gonna call her Okra because I just think of fried okra all the time. Every time I heard it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Okay. So she's naked, like we talked about earlier. All right. And she's the humming one. So I called her in my notes the masked titty hum girl. All right. So now we have this, the wolf mask guy. All right. He's leading a tribe. All right. And they go attack other naked girls in a cave. Okay.
They do.
Then they go up to, I guess, the leader of the naked girls in the cave, some old guy. All right, and they ask him, we want fresh meat. We don't want this piece of meat you're trying to give us. And he's like, okay, well, let me sacrifice myself. And it's like, I don't like old meat. So he bangs his fucking head open.
Yes.
Right? And then they just kill the women anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the point where I'm like, this point right here. So they kill one of the native girls' titties. They chop off her head and they bring the head to Okra. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's at this point where Okra is now going to bash the head and like eat it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's what she does. Right about this point, I'm like, I think I should have done some drugs right now to get what's going on. You know what I mean? Because after there's smoke everywhere. Smoke everywhere. Yes. She bashed his head open. She's now drinking from this native girl's brain. Kind of like Hannibal, you know what I mean? Just,
yes.
More raw.
Right.
Then she rubs the dead head, all right, kind of on her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smoke. I put my notes. There's the wolf smoke, all right? And so now the masked girl with smoke all around her is now getting sexually aroused by a snake rubbing on her.
Yeah, this is not the first time, or the only time in this movie this happens. But yeah, this is the first time we see the snake arousal scene.
I have to know, Alison, what the hell were you thinking about this at this time? I was just like, you know, there's points in movies where there's like, this is such wild stuff going on right now. I'm like, you know what? I think I just should have at least did like a toke of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I was watching it, the first thing I was thinking was, yep, this is an Italian movie.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So this girl's getting humped by this snake and stuff. And then we have Icarus shows up. And for some reason, he doesn't have a face, which was never explained.
Well, so this may be, so it's a scene where he's like shooting the arrows and he doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
I thought that's a vision that she's having. He's not actually there, right?
Oh, okay.
That's what I took out of that, was that's a vision. So much of this movie is not really explained, but I thought that was a vision that she had, and that's sense. Why she sent the wolf people after him.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense now. That makes a lot of sense. We'll take that one. Yeah, so we just see him. He's shooting his 80s barrels, and he kills a bunch of the wolf people, and I guess in her sexual snake dream.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you think, you know what I mean? Anyway. So now we have a native girl drinking some water. The tribe of wolf. I don't even know what the tribe was called. They might have said it. I have no idea. Okra's tribe.
Right.
The fried okra. Yeah. They're called fried okra.
The fried okra. Yeah.
Right. So they're about to attack her, but then a snake appears. By the way, that's another thing you can drink too. Snake appearing.
Every time you see a snake, yeah.
That's another 80s. That's another Italian thing. They love their snakes, brother.
They do.
We got snakes in this movie. We got snakes in Anemia. We got and everything.
Yeah. There's lots of big python type snakes in this one too. Anacondas.
Yeah.
It was really good.
So the snake's about to attack her, but then Icarus gets it. All right. And he says, "Oh, this one won't bother you anymore." Tribe girl looks confused and she runs off. So now the wolf tribe tried to go attack Icarus now, and he whoops their ass. Okay, until he runs out of his blue arrows. Then he's like, well, fuck, I am not a man because I don't know how to do anything else besides shoot blue arrows, so I'm going to get out of here. So he runs and he gets caught. He's about to get killed. Our hero of the film is about to get killed already until Mace shows up and he kills them all with his mace.
Yes, exactly. He's aptly named. But I was also confused by this point in that. So I thought that when he was shooting the blue arrows, that that they were like magical, right? Like he just pulls the bow back and the arrows appear. Yeah. But then he somehow runs out of blue arrows. So what was he supposed to do in the future? Listen, like how was he going to make more blue arrows?
Well, because his magic only has a limit, brother. You know what I mean?
We're only like 15 minutes into the movie, and he's already out of blue arrows.
First of all, Alison, when you play N64 games, okay, do you magically just have unlimited arrows? No, you got to go work.
You do if you use the Contra code.
Maybe they should have done that for this movie.
Yeah, the up, down, down thing. Yeah, should have done that. Anyway, Anyway, here we go. Mace shows up with his mace and saves the day.
Are you not entertained?
All
right, anyway.
I am I love this movie. But
so this Mace guy shows up. He's like, my name is Mace, and that's what my enemies call me.
I lost my shit when that happened. Like, I was not prepared for that. He's like, my name is Mace. And I'm like, really? How did you get that name?
I like it where he's all like, that's what my enemies call him. And then Eric's like, well, what do your friends call you? I don't got no friends. And then he randomly helps out a bird out of nowhere for some reason. And he's like, I thought you said you didn't have any friends. He's like, I don't have any living friends. Animals don't count.
Right. Animals don't count.
I was like, what is this guy? Fucking Captain Planet? What the hell's going on here?
He's like Beastmaster. That's what this movie reminded me of. It's like a lower budget Beastmaster, if you can imagine that. Like, also, before we move on, the thing about the birds.
Yeah.
So I love the scenes that they shot of the birds flying, which are clearly just fake plastic birds with wings like flapping up and down like this on strings.
Yeah.
It was fucking phenomenal.
That was great.
Loved it. Loved it.
Also, too, he did say that he didn't save Icarus' life because of him. He was wondering about the bow. Like, Mace is all interested about how to use the bow. And Mace said, hey, you can come with me on my travels. And Icarus like, where are we going? He's like, I don't know, wherever our feet take us. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
But that's pretty cool, though, because that's your typical fantasy story, right? Like, the two people meet up, and then they go on some quest together.
Yeah.
I mean, Mace doesn't really know why he's going, but he's going.
He's going?
Because they don't have shit else to do, I guess. And you don't have no friends anyway.
Yes.
So, let's go.
So now we have Fried Okra. She's there.
Yeah.
She is now talking to her tribe about the stranger because she doesn't know the guy's name yet. She's not talking about Mace. She's only talking about Icarus on here. All right.
Yeah, Ilias is the one that she sees in her vision.
Well, I keep saying Icarus.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a cool name too. But yeah, he's the guy she sees in her vision. She's the guy that she wants dead.
Yes.
Because he's gonna kill her. She thinks.
All right, and this is when she's talking to the pig guy. So I'm like, there's a wolf guy and there's a pig guy. So the pig guy is the first guy going after Ilias. So Mace gets him. Mace now shoots the bow and arrow, no problem. Mm-hmm. And he looks at Ilias and says, oh, I'm a quick learner. And this is the time I thought Ilias was going to turn heel because he looked super jealous. But he didn't turn heel.
Yeah, right.
All right. So they look at the body because they shot the one native guy. All right.
Yeah, that was weird though, right? They kill somebody. They just kill a random person and steal his food.
Well, that's
fuck it, right?
Yeah. That's they do that twice actually. So
they do. You're right. You're right.
All right. So now Mace is giving us some life lessons on here.
Okay. Yes.
Mace is telling us. All right. So okay. So Mace is saying, if a man fights a man, you don't know who will die. But if a man fights an animal, you know who will die.
Yeah, and I was more confused than ever at this point. But I'm glad he gave us his life lesson, though.
So now they hear a noise. They're not sure what it is. They don't see nothing. All right, and basically what it is Pigman has gone into their place. So everybody take a drink. They are now asleep.
They are asleep, or trying to sleep.
That's a good beer. So the pig tribe now. This is Fried Okra's other. She has a bunch of tribes, but this is the pig portion.
Right.
They're attacking, and pig then they light up the room with fire.
Yeah, right.
All right. And now Mace and Ilias, they fall through a hole.
Yeah.
All right. So they fall through this hole. Ilias shoots one bow and arrow, kills one of the pig guys. And the other pig guys just like go sit down and I guess wait for them to get drowned out by the fire or something.
Okay, sure.
So during this melee, Mace and Ilias go back to sleep. Okay.
I was really going to try to not laugh through this entire show, but I don't know if I can help it. But yeah, there's a lot of sleeping.
You don't go to sleep, Alison, when you're getting burnt out by pig creatures?
Yeah, they fall in this hole.
Bro, you gotta get
fire going on, and they just fall asleep again.
I feel for them, bro, because I need my 8 hours, bro. If I don't get my 8 hours, I suck for that day. Okay? So I feel you guys. All right? So while they're sleeping, a snake appears. Fuck. Okay.
Drink again.
Okay. Ilias wakes up, freaks about the snake. Mace kills the snake. Well, no, Mace doesn't kill the snake. He just frightens it. And now they can see that the snake goes through a snake hole. So now they found their exit. So now they know how to get out of there now. Okay?
Yeah. Now that they've woken back up.
So now this is when they I guess a tribe guy kills like a goat, and he goes somewhere, and then this is when they steal his goat.
All right. We got to stop here for a second. Where the fuck were they hiding from this guy? So, like, the way this is portrayed in the movie is the guy kills the goat. He takes part of the goat over to his fire, which is maybe 10 feet away, maybe.
Yeah. Or quick, man.
They come up, steal the goat. The guy turns back around, and he's gone. There's no trees around. It's like a desert. Yeah. And he's like looking around like, where did my goat go? Like, where the fuck were they hiding? And why can he not see them running away?
Maybe he's blind. I don't know.
Maybe he's blind. But the next scene is them running through the desert with this fucking dead goat on their shoulders. And I'm just like, okay, that's fucking hilarious. So this, but yeah.
Oh, you think that's hilarious? All right, wait till we see where they go.
Yes.
So they're going to this, which I don't even know. What the fuck was this place even called? I don't even fucking know. The land of whatever. Yeah. They're going through the land of mystery. And Mace is now going to his favorite spot, which is the cave of titty topless women.
Yes. It's like a fantasy strip club where everyone's naked.
I was like, this guy, okay. He's like, yeah, this is my favorite place to come to.
Yeah.
And now we see Ilias is now staring at a native girl. They're like staring at each other. Like, close ups, like, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly, yeah.
So they go in there, they eat the goat, or whatever the hell the thing was. Ilias is still staring at the native girl. Mace he's ready to fuck one of them. He's like, all right, I'm done eating. Yeah. I've come here to do two things: that eat and fuck one of you native girls. All right, so now it's at nighttime. Mace is done. Oh, by the way, it's nighttime. Guess what?
We gotta sleep again.
Everybody's sleeping.
Yep. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the girl that he sees in that cave was the same girl that he had helped earlier.
Yeah, the same one that he helped from the snake.
And then he saw her, and I guess this is her tribe, and now they've met up with her tribe.
Yeah. So, Ilias is sleeping there, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does one final stare at the native girl.
Yeah.
Native girl stares at him, and then she comes to him oh so slowly. And she does one of the most sexual things you can ever do on somebody ever.
Yeah.
She blows on him. Not blows him, but blows on him.
Blows on him, yeah. Well,
with breath.
It's a start.
And our boy is all excited, and now she takes him to the isolated part of the cave. There, Alison.
Yeah, to the VIP room. Yeah.
I wonder how much you're charging, brother. All right, that would be about 4 coins.
I was about to say, it's only $400. Yeah.
He brought him to the VIP cave. Just, bro, if she would have asked for money after that, I'd have been like, this is the greatest movie ever.
Like, this would be the greatest movie ever made. Yeah.
God, boy, if I could make a sequel of this movie, this would be fantastic, bro. I would do so much corny shit.
Yeah.
So basically, now she has Ilias like fill her up, and he's all happy. He's like, "Yeah, brother, I'm about to become a man, like my dad was saying." All right.
It's not the bow that's doing this, but yeah.
There's one bow that's about to do it, brother. All right. So she like teases him, and then she like walks away a little bit with his eyes closed, and the next thing you know, we hear screaming.
Yep.
All right, and he's all happy for a little bit, and then he opens his eyes, and now we can see that. The tribe girl, his fucking brain is smashed open.
Yeah, typical Fulci gore too. By the way, that looked like a Fulci movie right there. Yeah,
cool scene. I did not see that coming. Like with the girl dying, I was like, oh shit, this is fucking getting serious over here. So they start attacking. All right, and then they kidnap Ilias. All right, Mace wakes up. Go ahead.
Is this the scene where they rip the girl in two? Or am I confused about a different scene?
That actually, okay. That actually
happened. That in the first.
No, that happened. Okay, that's right. That happened in the first half. The first native girl that fried okra ate the brains of. They did do a Terrifier scene on her when they ripped her open
and ripped her in half. Yeah,
really cool scene. Right. Sorry that we skipped it, but that was really good gore. All right, move over, Terrifier. All right.
Yeah. This is exactly.
Conquest did it first.
Conquest did it first.
All right. So I thought this part was pretty fucked up too, because the tribe actually comes into Mace, right? Mace wakes up after fucking, and they knock him out. They knock him out. They kind of like knock him silly. And then like you could kind of see him going in and out a little bit. And then like he could see the girl that he just boned and everything over there. And then he finally wakes up and she's dead. So when he goes to sleep, she's alive. But then when he wakes up again, she's dead. I was like, God damn, it's creepy.
Yeah. That was awesome though.
So now, I don't know why they didn't kill Mace. Maybe he's off limits or something.
Well, because then he wouldn't be able to come back and save the day in a little bit.
Well, it was weird because Mace and Fried Okra had a relationship, but they didn't really say what it was. They just said that they stayed away from each other. But I don't know if they were boning before. I have no idea. Maybe that's in the prequel that we'll never get.
That we'll never get. Maybe it's
until we make it.
Mace was her ex. Yeah.
Until we make it.
Wow, we need to do that. A prequel to this.
So now Mace is looking for, Ilias and stuff, and he's so excited now because the bird that he saved showed him where Ilias is, and Ilias is getting dragged away, like kind of like on like a pig, how a pig gets dragged away. He's getting dragged away from the tribe, okay? And now they tie up. Check this one out, guys. You wouldn't believe what happens next. They tie up Ilias from a tree. And then they all go to sleep. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to get your sleep in.
Gotta get to sleep
and we got to get our drinks in. So,
it doesn't matter if you're a tribe or heroes of magical mythic powers, bro. That
you still have to sleep.
That 8 hours is important.
Got to get that 8 hours.
Okay.
Got to get that 8 hours.
You think they were saying their prayers and taking their vitamins too? All right.
Probably. But yeah, them sleeping allows Mace to catch up with them.
Exactly.
So the plot can continue.
Yes. So Mace gets there. He's sneaking around.
Yeah.
He unties Ilias from the ropes and stuff, but he wakes up the pig man. All right, and then they knock pig man over, and then we get the huge fighting scene. But I thought the side fighting scene was pretty cool.
This was great. Yeah.
All right. And I like the one part where I forgot which one it was. I think it was Ilias. He like brought the native pig guy in front of him, and the other one hits him in the head, and you can see like the blood come out right away. I was like, yeah, buddy. I like it.
That's awesome.
That's one thing Italians do really weird, man. I like their gore. Like they have like a unique style gore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like their blood is not the most realistic looking blood ever made, but like the way they do gore is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's really visceral. Like it's really like, it looks painful.
Yeah.
And kind of, I guess, like it's hard to describe, but Italians do horror and gore movies different than anybody else, and I love it.
So they also are bashing their heads in mostly. We see a lot of head bashing in here. Mace's legs do get eaten up, even though he no-sells it later on. And then eventually the tribe team loses, so they retreat because they've been overpowered by Mace and Ilias. So now we're back with Fried Okra. She has that snake. She's doing like, the snake is on her and stuff. And she now does not like Man Bear Pig because he failed.
Yeah, he didn't catch with the bow. He didn't get Ilias in the bow.
So now she's frying Man Bear Pig on like this like fire rock.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a giant hot plate.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Poor Man Bear Pig.
And she is like all upset. All right. She's upset that Man Bear Pig failed her, so that's why she's killing him. All right, she doesn't forgive failness. So now we see the dead Man Bear Pig's head. Lots of smoke everywhere. I mean, you all want to get smoked out, you go to this room. You'll be high as fuck.
Yep.
And then she says, only the great Zoran can help her get the stranger.
And who is Zoran? We don't know, but we're gonna find out in a minute.
He is my bro. Zoran is my favorite. One of my favorite. He has barely any lines or does anything in this movie, but I hope you catch this, everybody, if you watch this movie, because he does one of the funniest fucking lines. I don't know if it was the voice actor or nothing. He does one of the funniest lines at the end of this film, and I will explain why when we get there. But he was great. All right, so she doesn't. She basically wants to call on Zoran to have Zoran's magical evil powers capture the Ilias, the stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to call on him, she has to do LSD snake sex.
Yes. Exactly.
You know what this is missing?
LSD.
Christopher Walken.
Oh, Christopher Walken.
Hanging out in the background.
In the background.
Bro.
Yeah. Dancing with aliens. Yeah.
I would have been on another fucking planet if that would have happened here.
You could literally have gone from that scene in Communion with him dancing with the aliens straight into the scene, and it would have just made the same amount of sense.
Like, you know when you see something and like you're just like you're so amazed you don't even know what to do, like you're in shock.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been happening if Christopher Walken was this movie. Okay. Like I think I just would have like, I don't know what I would have done. I've been like fucking frozen.
Just short-circuited right there. Yeah.
Amazement.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now she's doing her snake thing. She's screaming the stranger in her dreams to go away.
Right.
There's a random dog that shows up.
Well, that's Zoran.
It's Zoran, yes.
Right. Yeah, Zoran is in the body of a dog.
A dog,
apparently.
Yes.
Sort of.
So now she does her LSD sex magic on the dog, and the dog turns into Zoran.
Yeah.
And Zoran basically looks like some dude in like armor.
Sure.
Like he looked like one of those guys.
I don't know why any of this surprises you at this point. Like every time something new happens, you're like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, why can you not believe this after everything we've seen in this movie so far? Like, why does anything surprise you at this point?
He looked like a character.
Anyway,
he looked like he looked like a character from Monty Python. Okay, he pulled up on here. Okay, that's what he fucking looked like. All right, I couldn't believe myself. Yes. So now she's like, "Oh, great, Zoran. I need you to get rid of the stranger guy, and if you do, I will give you my body and my soul, all to you."
Yes.
And Zoran's like, "Well, how do you want him dead? Do you want him dead or alive?" And she's all like, "I want him dead. Just just kill him right away." And then Zoran's like, "All right, I will kill him very slowly." I'm like, "Brother, she just said to kill him right away. You don't need to do it slowly. I'm gonna do it slowly."
It's kind of the exact opposite of what she wanted, but okay.
All right. So now Zoran's using his magical evil powers to kill Ilias. All right. So now Ilias is acting like a little brat. Okay. He wants to know who the hell fried okra is. Okay. He can't stand fried. He's only used to fried pickles, brother. Okay. He doesn't know what this okra shit is.
No, he has no idea.
Okay. Mace says to forget about her. This is when we're seeing that there was, I don't know. Maybe Mace was afraid of her. They fucked her. I have no idea. There's something going on where he didn't want to mess with her. All right, but he is saying
he thinks she's too powerful.
Yeah, too powerful. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's all that snake bit him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that, brother.
Yeah. All that snake fucking makes you hard.
And basically, this is saying, hey, don't you want revenge? And Mace like, well, we got revenge. We killed all those man bear pigs.
Right.
All right. And it was like, no, we didn't. We got to get fried okra. She's the main person behind this. Okay?
Exactly.
All right. So now Mace is saying, like, if you want to go after her, she lives up there. This part was like low key kind of funny too. He was like, if you want to go after her, she lives off in a far away, right past that mountain over there.
But he doesn't want to go. Yeah. He doesn't want to go.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go, and Ilias wants to go.
Yeah, he lives far away, right past that mountain. Exactly.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is, like, Mace says, like, why don't you just get this up? And Ilias is like, well, I don't want to be a coward. Remember, my Odin dad told me I had to be a man. All right?
Yeah.
So now Mace asks about Ilias's people. Ilias is proud of his people. Said, hey, my people can actually grow food, unlike your poor ass people did.
Right.
And Mace is like, what? You can grow food? Holy shit. I can't do that.
One thing that I did think was really funny and kind of ironic about this movie is so until Okran starts attacking Ilias, he doesn't even know she exists. Yeah. And the only reason he's chasing her now is because she attacked him.
Yeah.
if she just fucking left him alone,
fine.
None of this would ever have happened.
Yeah.
He would never have known she even existed.
Well, you see, Alison, when you have snake sex and that venom goes through your brain,
yeah,
this is what you're gonna get.
Can't control it. Yeah, exactly.
This is what you're gonna get, brother. Okay, that's just how it is.
True. That's true.
So now they start seeing the birds flying, and the birds are flying away from the water, so they know no good is about to happen.
Yeah.
So then they're sitting there, and then they're like, Mace is like, duck, and then we see the most animated arrows you would ever see.
This was great. I love this. Like they're clearly just animated onto the screen, onto the film. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
So and of course, none of the arrows hit him, and they all just run away. All right, and then eventually, Elias gets shot in the leg. All right? And then Mace gets him on a raft. All right, and then they're sailing away to some sweet Castlevania music from the Castlevania N64, or the Castlevania from Super Nintendo.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
I think this is one more like Castlevania 4. I think it was Castlevania 4. All right, so they're going away on there, and now the poison is starting to show on Elias's leg.
Yeah,
and this is an Italian movie, everybody. So when we do poison, you will see the pus explode.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be disgusting.
Close up.
Ugh,
all right.
Yeah, and literally a close up. The whole frame of the movie is like the pus exploding. Yeah.
So I like this part. Like Elias is like, bro, I think I'm gonna die. Like, and Mace is like, well, fuck, bro, it's a small wound. You'll be all right. And then not even 2 seconds later, Elias, the poison's getting into my blood. And then no shit. Mace is like, all right, well, I'm selling you to this island that has a magic plant. I'm like,
dude,
like,
how convenient.
How convenient. And I was like, what kind of plant are we talking about here? Is this like a cocaine plant? Weed plant?
It's cannabis. Yeah, it's weed. No, but I just think it's mighty convenient that they were in close proximity to this magic plant that will cure him.
So now, Mace, they get to the island. Yes, exactly. It just happens to work out that. Mace sits Elias down. Elias is pus around him everywhere. He's like, don't worry about it, bro. I'll be back here at dawn. You won't die. I mean, hopefully not.
No, not in the meantime.
I'm gonna go get this magic plant, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So Mace walks around smoke. All right. We see more poison burst from Elias. Mace finds that blue plant that was in Resident Evil. Remember that Resident Evil? They had like the blue plant, the blue plant, the green plant, the red plant, right? And you can make different stuff out of the plants.
Yeah, he finds the blue plant. Yeah.
But it's weird though, because and I'm jumping a little bit ahead. He finds a blue plant, but then when he goes to give Elias the medication, it's a green plant. So what happened here, brother?
They forgot what color it was when they were in
probably did.
In post-production.
So this part for horror movie fans like us is really cool. This is when we get a Fulci special. We get zombie sea creatures coming out of the sea and attacking Mace. I thought this scene was awesome looking. Like this reminded me of when he did like City of the Living Dead and shit like that. Like it looked like that. The way that he directs his like slow creatures is awesome. I think he does like one of the best directing of like slow walking creatures.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cause what he'll do is, Mace is there and he has like a stick or whatever, and he's like he bashes one of them and nothing happens. They just kind of like get hit and they still walk like that slow. Kind of like when like a lot of times when Fulci did in his zombie movies. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Very similar to that. All right, and then eventually the sea zombies attack Mace, and he's like they're crowding him and stuff, and then he gets away, and one of them falls back and it gets stabbed through the heart, and then that's when Mace figured out, okay, well I gotta stab these guys, I can't just beat them up, I gotta actually stab them. So then that's when he goes and stabs all the rest of them and stuff. But I thought this whole scene was shot very, very well, and this is like a Fulci special right here.
Yes.
So then this part was pretty interesting. So he gets up to Elias, and Elias is like, man, I'm about to die. He's like, okay, so now Mace is about to smash his fucking face open. But it's a swerve, brother. It's a fake Mace. So then we have Mace fighting Mace. Didn't it seem like a video game, like right here? Like you always find yourself on video games?
And I was a little bit confused at this point because there's like two Maces, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was late at night, but yeah. So fake Mace is fighting real Mace. It's kind of like when they had the fake Sting for a while in WCW,
fighting each other. Yeah,
and then so it's kind of like that.
So the Maces are fighting, and eventually the true Mace gets the upper hand,
Of course.
and he kills the fake Mace, and the fake Mace is just like a shapeshifter, all right, and he disappears. Okay. So now we're back at the fried Okra's lair. Okay. She's rubbing on Zoran, saying, "Don't fail me like the others." And Zoran's like, "I will not fail you. I will make sure he goes down.
Yeah.
It will be done, Okras." All right. So now, this is when we have Mace putting the green leaf. Remember, he picked up a blue one, but now he puts on a green one.
Yeah.
And Ilias is all fine now, like super fine. He's like, "Oh, I'm good right now, no problem." Like this reminds me of like exactly like Resident Evil. Like, you know, when you have the green plant and first you're walking like this and stuff in Resident Evil, you take the green plant, you're all good to go.
Yeah, the green plant heals you entirely. And that's what happened here too.
So now Ilias is like, "Hey man, you should come with me to kill Okran." All right? And Mace is like, no, sorry. Now Ilias has decided not to kill Okran. He's decided to go back to his home country. My bad.
Right.
So now Ilias says, "Hey Mace, you should come with me to my home country. You know, where you actually can grow food and you don't have to worry about."
I was going to say, we can show you how to grow
stuff.
food.
Yeah. Mace is like, "You know what, brother? I was born here, man. You know what I mean? If I go to your land, I'll be a stranger.
Yeah.
I can only stay where I got to stay at, brother." Okay?
Exactly.
All right? So now it's like, "Okay, well, how about you take this magical 80s bow?" And Mace is like, "That's from your ancestors." And Ilias is like, "Well, I'm going to go back, not a man anyway, so to take it."
Right, might as well.
And then Mace is like, "You know what? Your powerful 80s bow is just too much for this land." We've never seen a magical thing like this before.
No.
We've only seen
Amazing.
women with titties fuck snakes and man bear pigs. We haven't seen some 80s bows before.
We haven't seen magical blue bows before. Wow.
So now Ilias now walks off to some sweet Castlevania music.
Yeah.
And there he goes. So now Mace in his Star Wars scene walks past like these creatures that would have been straight out of Star Wars.
Yep.
And these creatures are now attacking Mace, saying, "Hey, where's your boy at? Tell us where he's at." Okay. He also gets attacked by some putty creatures from Power Rangers that have a net.
I was confused about that. I was like, so they're like mud men.
Yeah.
They're like people covered in mud that attack him, and they're gonna net him up.
This is from Zoran, brother. He don't play around.
No, he doesn't.
You know, this movie is kind of sound like Power Rangers. You know what I mean? Like we have Zoran, which is Lord Zed. We have Fried Okra, who is Rita.
Yeah.
We have the pig guy, who is like who's the guy? They had a pig enemy, and then they had the wolf enemy. Yeah. Then they had the wolf enemy too, with the gargoyle guy.
All right.
And then they have
you only have 2 Power Rangers though.
Well, you know,
instead of 5, there's only 2.
Well, maybe one of them's Tommy, obviously Mace's, and then who the fuck would Ilias be? The blue. He's the Billy, maybe. Yeah, he's probably Billy because he seemed like kind of a loser.
And yeah.
All right, so now Ilias is walking away. It's Castlevania music, but he reflects on his dad's words of courage.
Yeah,
basically saying, "Son, you have to be courage because if you come back not a man, I'm gonna whoop your ass."
Right.
Well, he didn't say that, but he should have, and it'd been awesome.
Yeah, and he changes his mind.
So now the creatures, which look kind of cool. Like I like these creatures. They look like something they would have fit right, like I said, really into Star Wars or something. They're kind of like these white little sea creatures, or something like that. And they're giving Mace a last chance to tell them where Ilias is. Okay, And Mace is not afraid. All right. And now Ilias screams, "I'm right here." So Ilias has changed heart. He does not go back to his native land of wherever it's at. He is now back to save Mace. So now he starts shooting massive amounts of 80s blue arrows everywhere.
Yeah, he decides he doesn't need to go grow food, and he's just going to stay and rescue Mace with his blue magical arrows.
But he doesn't rescue Mace.
He doesn't.
So Mace is like tied up to like one of those like cross things, kind of like at the in the Game of Thrones where Theon was on the Bolton's cross.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of like the Bolton's symbol of the cross, the flayed man cross, basically. So Mace is on one of those, and one of the sea creatures knocks him down to the sea. Ilias is too busy shooting off his 80s arrows to help. So now Mace is down in the ocean, drowning to death. But if you all remember, Mace doesn't have human friends.
He doesn't.
He only has human enemies. His friends,
are animals.
His friends of the earth, brother. Birds.
Yes.
I guess not dogs, because all the dogs are like evil villains. But rabbits and stuff, and he just so happens to have a bunch of dolphins that love him.
He does. He has a bunch of dolphin friends who come to save him.
Little Flipper has returned to the Retro Blood. We haven't seen him since Jaws. Jaws 3?
Yeah, Jaws 3. Yeah.
Do you think that was the same dolphin?
I was going to ask you if you thought that, if it's the same dolphin actor that they used for this.
That'd be fucking awesome, bro.
He continued to get work beyond Jaws 3. But yeah, so they set up this plot point so many minutes ago. That they Mace proved that he was a friend of the animals. He saved the bird. He was friend to the animals, and now that plot point's paying off when the dolphins come to save him. Now I nearly shit my pants when this happened. Because I cannot believe he's being saved by dolphins. Here we go.
I'm gonna drink to this one because technically Mace passed out. And that means he's sleeping. So
yeah, right. Okay, so we'll drink again.
So yes, a little Flipper goes and sees Mace and it's like, you know what? I know that fucker. He gave to the Dolphin Whale Fund a couple months ago, so I'm gonna help this guy out. All right. So he goes there with his friend. They have to be the same dolphins from Jaws 3, I guess. And they go there and they bite his. How did they do this? Like, was it real dolphins? Like, how come?
I don't know.
I need to know about this shit. Like, that was it. It wasn't animated. We don't have CGI.
There were real dolphins in some of these scenes. I don't know if the scenes of them biting the ropes were real dolphins.
Yeah,
they probably just made dolphin hand puppets and just went like, have them.
They looked pretty real when I opened it up. So.
They did look pretty real too. Yeah, they look pretty good.
So basically, the dolphins, they bite the ropes off the hands, and then they lift them up to the seat, so he can breathe. The beach.
Yeah.
So Ilias is walking around all upset because he's like, oh fuck, Mace is dead, and my dad was talking about courage. I was supposed to be a man. I couldn't fuck a native girl. I lost my friend Mace, and I'm just lost. And then he sees Mace. He's like, oh shit, he's okay. So he takes Mace and gets him off the beach, and Mace just wakes up and everything's fine.
Yeah, and my favorite part is when this whole thing was when Ilias was like, oh, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, like if you changed your mind like 5 minutes before this, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's literally just gone for a few minutes and changes his mind, but the shit is the fan the whole time he's gone.
So on that too, he's also saying like, why'd you come back? He's like, well, I owed you a favor.
Yeah. Right.
All right. And then like, I need you to come with me. We can find that mountain that Fried Okra lives on.
Because it's just right over there.
And then you know what boy Mace says?
What?
But first we must rest. Okay, I got you.
And we drink again. We got to rest first.
You were just.
Well, I mean, he did just almost die.
Yeah. He's like, brother, I've been trying to get my 8 hours for this whole fucking movie. All right.
Yeah.
Golly. All right. So they go get some rest. They sleep again.
Yeah.
So we have some red hands. Now, their sleep gets, like, interrupted, of course. This red
They
hand...
get attacked every time they sleep.
Yeah, some sort of red demon hand grabs Ilias down to another hole. I'm like, are we just repeating the same storyline, brother? What is this, SmackDown?
They're back in a hole again. Yeah, they're back in a... Oh, that's
I like that one?
Right, like that there, one, yeah.
So I like that one, too. Okay. So he gets dragged away. So basically, Ilias now gets dragged down to another hole, and he gets dragged away. Okay? And I laugh because, like, the same shit happened to him twice.
Yeah.
So Mace wakes now. He goes down to the hole. We see this really cool, like, blue demon guy. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really see what's happening at all, but the reflection at the... Right when Mace walks in and he sees the blue demon for a second, it looks cool, and then all this weird shit starts happening. Okay?
Right.
And they start moving around in the dark. All right, they grab Mace, and they throw him into another room. And this room has a bunch of bats that attack him. Okay, so he's going through different levels of this cave. And then after the bats, get away from Mace, because he uses his mace to get him away.
Yeah.
Mace now sees the dead, hanging body of Ilias.
Wow.
And then we see Zoran has now have the head of Ilias. Zoran has successfully killed one of our main characters off the film. Shocking.
I gotta admit, I didn't see this coming.
I didn't see it coming either.
Yeah, I did not see this coming. I did not think we were going to lose Ilias like this. But anyway.
So my boy Zoran, though, was putting himself over so much. Brother, he had this head on. He was like, I am Zoran. I am the greatest evil man of all time. All should bow towards me. I am the greatest. I'm putting myself over some more. Like, I'm so great. All right? All right? And then, Fried Okra, she's very excited, too, because, he kept his word. All right? And then he gives the head to Okran. All right, and then she is about to go open the head and drink his memories.
Yeah.
Because if she drinks his memories, she can find out where the strange land that he comes from and probably kill the people over there too.
Right.
But before she can drink his head, the eyes open. Ilias's eyes open, and Fried Okra gets all upset because she says, "You might have killed his body, but you didn't kill his soul."
Oof.
And she cannot.
And here we go again.
She cannot do a Hannibal thing if somebody's soul is still intact. I had no idea until she said it in this line.
Yeah, which is really strange because this has never happened before. But somehow his soul is still in his head, and his eyes are.
Yeah, she also says his spirit won't let me do it. He won't let me take him.
Weird. What a weird movie.
So
but
now,
anyway, yeah.
So now Mace, because I guess he has Viking backgrounds, he now burns Ilias's body to some Claudio sweet music. It's fucking awesome. I think at my funeral, I want that Claudio music to happen. You know what I mean? That'd be fucking awesome.
I'll definitely make that happen. We'll just play the Claudio Cementi soundtrack.
Bro, just play the whole
Conquest.
thing, bro.
Yeah.
Just the whole fucking thing. That'd be awesome. All right, so now Mace says to many people, now Mace is saying, he's basically saying too many people have gone punished from Fried Okra. So now and this is the most metal thing that's happened in this whole movie. Ilias now is going to give him the power of Zoran or Zoltron.
Yeah, right.
And the way that he gets the power of Zoltron is he takes Ilias's ashes and he rubs them all over himself. I mean, what's more black metal than that, brother?
That's the most metal thing. Like I could totally see one of those black metal guys doing that. Yeah.
Did you see
like
that?
You burn the ashes and wrap them all over your body.
He took fucking over here. All right, let me get some on the face. I was like, God damn, bro. That's some black metal shit right there.
Yeah, I was about to say, I bet those guys in Black Braid do that. Like they totally like they rub ashes.
Do you think
body ashes on themselves?
Do you think they have magic 80s bows?
No, I bet they do. Those guys look like the type.
Yeah. So after he black metal himself up with little ash paint, okay?
Yeah.
We have some of the tribe people out there hanging outside upset. Fried Okra appears. She's there now. Mace shows up. Says he's going to get revenge. And he is saying, Okran, I screwed up. He's like, Okran, I'm getting revenge on you. You will never see the light of day again. All right? So he gets out his 80s bow. And this is my favorite part of the movie right here.
Yes.
And I don't know if you caught this, Allison, but when I heard this, I fucking cracked up. Fucking hilarious on this scene. I might even like do a little snippet. We'll see, because it was so fucking funny.
Okay.
So fried okra. So Mace just declared that she's going to attack Okran. Okay.
Right.
And Okran said, "Oh, you coming to me?" She's like, "Zoran, attack him!" And Zoran's like, "Oh. Yeah." Like he was just like, he sounds so lazy. Like he's like annoyed about it. He's like, "Oh, I ain't doing that shit."
Yeah, I've already killed one guy. I'm not doing this shit again.
Just the way he said it, man. Like you have to, if you didn't catch that, Allison, you have to check
great.
it out. It was so funny. She was like, because she was so spirited. Fried Oak was like, "Zoran, get him!" And of course, Zoran instead of going like doing like a growl, like, "I'm gonna get him," he's like,
all right.
It's like, "No, I'm not really gonna do that." And then she's all like, looks at him like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "Okay, you guys go get him." Bro, you gotta play that again. Like this shit was cracking me up, man.
I'm definitely gonna watch this again because I loved it. But yeah.
All right. So now the wolf guy is now getting maced. All right, and he uses the blue, because now Mace can use the Zoltron black metal 80s blue arrows now. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So now he's using arrows on everybody. Okran is now pissed off because she feels like everybody has now betrayed her because they're all dying. So she goes back to her red room, her venomous red room.
Yeah.
Mace now can shoot the magic blue 80s arrow through the mountain, and it goes right into her steel mask, and it breaks the mask open. And now she's some sort of like zombie creature who can only just scream the whole time.
Right.
And now Mace magically appears into the mountain, shoots Okran with one 80s blue arrow. It kills her and turns her into a wolf.
Yes.
Then we have Then we have wolf fried okra. We have wolf Zoran. I guess Zoran got killed in like the melee. After he was too lazy to go after him. He's like, "I don't want to do that."
And he's back to being a wolf again.
He's a wolf. They go off into the sunset to hopefully come back in a sequel that will one day be made.
Never get. Yes.
Mace goes near the good old beach and sunset, and that's it.
That's it.
Maybe he goes to sleep.
And then we get the Claudio Simonetti music, and then it goes off.
And that is it, everybody.
Yeah.
That is
Fun
What'd you
movie,
think, bro? I love this movie. Actually, I thought it was a very fun movie to do for our 200th episode. You know what I mean?
It was entertaining. It wasn't boring. It did not bore me.
It didn't bore me.
I was watching it and I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
I was more shocked on some of the scenes than bored.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Bro, during the time for a fantasy 80s movie that one of the main characters gets his head cut off and almost drinks, that was pretty shocking.
The whole ending was kind of shocking because it's like because you're focused on Ilias from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just gets killed and he's not the main character anymore. Like, how did that happen? But yeah.
Yeah. So very fun stuff, man. I enjoyed this one. Everybody, I hope you all enjoyed it too. Yes. But Retro Blood moves on, man.
Episode 201.
Because we did 201.
Yeah, 201. Yeah.
And we will be coming back here on the Retro Blood next week. Continuing our look at 1980s Fulci movies, because we're doing one of his most popular movies of the 80s, The Black Cat.
Yeah.
All right.
This will be a good one. I've never seen this movie.
Me either. Should be interesting. A whole movie about a deadly cat.
Yeah, and Fulci wrote this or helped write it, so it'll be
now
good.
I believe didn't Dario Argento do a movie about cats too?
Isn't his half of Two Evil Eyes about cats?
Yeah, something
about
like
a
that.
cat.
Yeah. Very interesting. We'll see how it goes. And then on that episode, because we haven't made our total mind up yet, we will give you the rest of the schedule for August of what is going on in the Fulci movies. And of course, we have September coming up too. So a lot of stuff coming up here on the Retro Blood. Thanks for all joining us. Thanks for everybody who's listening to the Retro Blood, the 200th episode. It's been very fun.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this train rolling. So this is one of our special episodes. I know it was a long one, but we had to talk about Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan.
But it has to be, anniversary one has to be long. It's 200 episodes, man.
200 episodes.
It's a double-sized episode. Almost.
Double size, yep. So,
yeah.
But Alison, for all of our podcast listeners, what great Ozzy Osbourne song should we play getting on out of here?
Man, I don't know what else we could play for this movie other than Bark at the Moon.
Bark at the Moon, brother. We have to, brother.
Yes, we have to. Yeah.
Because, man, you know for a fact, Zoran, Fried Okra, they're definitely barking at the moon after they messed with our boy Mace.
Yeah.
All right. But everybody, J.H. Alison, James Kline, we will see you here next week on the Retro Blood 201, talking the Black Cat.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
See you guys.